Hi artists, it's Miss Alfaro here, and we are going to be going over part 1 for your project number 4, which is going over implied texture. So on Tuesday, if you joined us during Zoom, we went over how to make your sketchbook look like mine, as well as how to start drawing what you see on the screen. So we're going to go ahead and go over that information in this video, so that way you know what to do for your project. What we have listed is our learning objective. So that's the reason why you are doing this. Number 1 states you are organizing and developing artistic ideas and work with implied and real texture. Number 2, understand the difference between implied and real texture. And then finally, for your project, you will have the opportunity to write an artist statement stating which materials you used, how you created the work, and what you thought about this assignment. Here's what we went over during Zoom on Tuesday. So what you are going to need for this assignment is you will need a pencil, eraser, and your sketchbook. Now, if you purchased an art kit, there are 2 additional things that you can use, which I have in my hand, which is the ebony pencil and a tortillon or a rubbing stick, which I will show you during the video. As we see right here on the board, there is an explanation to what implied texture is. Remember, that's when an artist is trying to create an illusion to make it look like it actually has physical texture. This is generally going to be created with using line and shape, as well as shading, highlights, midtones, and shadows. Right here on the right side of the page, you see that there are 6 different textures. So for this assignment, you're going to be asked to do 6 of these, as well as 3 additional, your choice. Your choice can be anything you want it to be. If you scroll down towards the bottom inside of Schoology, you will see that it says example of how to set up your sketchbook with 9 boxes. So let's take a look at how I did mine. All right, so as you see right here, this is how I set up my sketchbook for this assignment. Now, if you're an in-person student, you're going to be working on a worksheet, but for those of you working at home online by yourself, you're going to need to set up your sketchbook just like mine. So what I did for this is I drew 2 lines down, 1, 2, and I also drew 3 lines across. You're going to want a total of 9 boxes. So if you need to pause the video to see how it looks, you're more than welcome to. After you have your 9 boxes, you're going to label what you saw earlier, which are going to be the feathers, hair, stone, waves, wood, and a woven basket. You will also be expected to turn in 3 of your choice. That means whatever you choose. So I'm going to show you what I did on my worksheet, as well as an example from another student. So as you see right here, this is my worksheet. Up at the top it says texture. You are practicing creating texture below yourself. You can look at the examples provided, but feel free to make your own. Remember, not everyone's wood, fur, waves, or feathers are going to look alike. All right, so let's take a look at how I actually drew it. So what we have right here is feathers. So that's the first one I'm going to focus on. Now to draw the feathers, I looked at my worksheet, but then I also went online and tried to get some more images of feathers that I liked. Okay, so I came upon an image where the feathers looked similar to this, but a little bit different. Okay, the first thing you want to do is overlap your lines. Okay, start by overlapping, drawing your shapes. Think about simple shapes. Like for instance, this one kind of looks like the letter U. okay? Once you have your lines, you want to start thinking about shading, getting those midtones, those shadows, those darker values. So here's what I do. I use the side of my pencil and I start shading in opposite directions. I might go down one way and come back the opposite way. I also make sure that whenever I'm drawing with pencil, that my pencil is sharpened, because it is harder to draw when you have a dull pencil. So I'm going through, I'm shading, I'm adding more darker values. Now, if you purchase the art kit, it came with a tortillon. So this is an example of a tortillon. It's called a blending stick also. And with this tool, you don't want to draw like this. Instead, you'll use the side of the tortillon. And you can start spreading out those values. As you see, as I do this, it starts to spread the pencil more onto the page. If you did purchase the art kit, it also came with the ebony pencil. So you could use this for the darker areas, like the shadows, the darker areas over here on my page. Now, if you don't have the tortillon or you don't have the blending stick, that's okay. Instead of using this blending stick, you can use a tissue paper, a piece of tissue, a napkin, your finger also, okay? And when I say that, you can start spreading out onto the page, okay? So that's an example of getting those dark values as well as getting those midtones. Now, if I spread it out too much, I might want to come back with my pencil, maybe add some more lines, darker values if I need to, okay? Now I want to do some light values. So what you can do for light values, there's different ways. But what I like to do as an artist is I like to draw everything first, and then I save the light values for last, and I use my eraser. So check out how I got it to look like this. I'm gently erasing away. This is called reduction. So that's the word we see right here. Reduction is when you are removing from your drawing, from your painting, you're reducing the amount of pencil marks on the page. Okay. So as you see, I've started to make it look a little bit more like the picture next to it. As you see, I've also added hair, stones, same process. You want to draw your shapes first, just like I did with the feathers, and then work on your midtones, your highlights, as well as your shadows for your stone. Okay. Then you need to move on to the next one, which are going to be waves, wood, and woven basket. Now take a look at another artist here at St. Ross that also did this assignment. Okay. So here's an example of a student's finished work. They added, instead of doing the feathers, they added their own feathers. They also decided for the your choice, where you can decide what you want to do. They have 3 different images, okay? What I would suggest you do, if you're just stuck and you don't know what to draw, you can look up examples of texture online. So if you look up examples of texture, there's going to be a whole bunch of different ones, or you could look around your house. See what you have in your room. Maybe there's a toy that has texture. If you look at the bottom of your shoe, it has texture. Chairs, the sidewalk, plants, animal print. It's everywhere. Okay? So again, what you should be doing for this assignment inside of the boxes that you created is starting to draw what each of these say. Okay? Remember, the last 3 are going to be your choice. Good luck, everyone. Feel free to email me, ask a question if you have any trouble.